days like today, days like 2 days ago, or whenever the allegation hit, I know that all too well. I know I've been giving a lot of commentary on this, but I don't want for any second. I have no problem with Shannon Sharpe. And if anything, I've been telling you, I think that whole line, that's a fact. I don't believe that chick at all. But I ain't gonna lie, she lined him up because there's evidence that people won't contextualize. You know, we all know what happened. Shorty tried to introduce him to some BDSM shit. He finally got down with it, like, all right, cool, all right, that's what we doing. He started using that type of language because that now he feels that's the way to have the dominance over her. And she knew how to selectively clip this, record this, that now makes it seem like this guy's abusive. It'll never be seen in context because we're men. When you hear someone say on a tape, I might choke you in public. You don't gotta. You don't gotta. You don't have an opinion in the decision. It doesn't sound good. It'll never sound good. It's the proper lineup, and I think Shannon probably at this point realized only his supporters, his true supporters, and I know what's gonna happen. Shannon's gonna be fine. He's gonna realize all that ESPN, Fox Sports shit, that shit's clipped for him. But this is where, Shannon, let me tell you this. I'm telling you this as a man. Just like, you see, when they try to get rid of me, you know how many times, I relied on, listen, I look at that number right there, and it said we got 12,000 on YouTube, and I look on Rumble, we got 3,000 over there, and I said, damn, I'm 15,000 strong. Rely on your people. It's okay. It's okay. You're going to be fine. But you got to get through this. His supporters are going to have to make a decision, and they're not going to change anything, but they're going to see. You should know his character. You should be able to say, nah, my unk getting lined up. He was stupid, though. He's stupid. Yeah, you know he shouldn't be fucking with no 19-year-old. He's stupid. He a little freaky ass nigga. But he's not a rapist. You see, when you deal with these big companies, they know you're not no rapist neither. But they can't make no stance. And by the way, Shannon, you learning something else that's important. In the last 24 to 48 hours, my man Shannon, you done seen all your colleagues. Because they seen the writing on the wall. They all had secret meetings to say, how we going to do this first take shit without him? How we going to do this without him? Hey, what's the exit plan? Look, they had the meetings behind your back. That's why they all came out. And they all have positioned themselves to be in the perfect position that when this happened, because I'll be honest with you, I think ESPN gave you yo, you know we fuck with you, but we owned by Disney. They allowed you to announce your departure. If they were going to announce it, it would say that would be a bigger story. And that's how cancellation works. They wait on a decision to be made by a partner that seems punitive. ESPN did you a solid, my brother. They allowed you to announce that you're departing, not they're sending you away. Because the moment they say they're suspending you, as I said, domino effect. Everything else has to fall in line. Every sponsor got to go. But you said you're stepping aside. I bet you won't step aside from Nightcap and Uncle Shay Shay show, or what's it called? The Club Shay Shay. You own those things. You're the proprietor of those things. You won't step aside. And you shouldn't. But ESPN did you a solid. It's basically to say, we're about to fire you, but instead of firing you, we'll let you just resign. You don't got to say you got fired. Trust me. They're a company. You can't blame them. They did you a solid. Here's the thing. This is going to be a permanent scar for Shannon. Trust me, I went through it. You know, they tried to cancel me about like 5-6 times. The last time, everybody thought they had me. Oh, they said, we got him in the vice grip. We got him. Drop the guillotine. He's done. I seen friends start to position their angle to say, well, Ak ain't coming back. I seen their rhetoric go out, and I looked up. These were people who I had the smoking gun. I work in the media. I'm the biggest of any. I know all of these niggas' secrets. People came to me with the shit to end them. I've always did this. I told y'all all the time. I hit them, yo, this is what they're trying to do to you. Listen, you go handle it, I'm gonna fall back. I saw those people when they thought it was done, they all start positioning themselves. Well, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, hack. Like they were all positioning themselves when they said, well, Ak is done. So now we could look like, hey, we stand with the rest of the people. Yeah, Ak is done. After they saw me rose from the fucking ashes, the grave, like the motherfucking Undertaker, I've seen a lot of the rhetoric get a little bit. Oh, shit, you still alive? Oh, yeah, nah, no, he just had to go through that. I've stopped answering a lot of calls since then. It was the best reminder. It wasn't a good experience, but it was the best reminder that in this fucking industry, there really is no friends. Remember, I told you that. So Shannon, you're looking around now. You gotta look at Stephen A. Stephen A. was shucking and jiving, just oh man, we got Uncle Shay Shay here. Oh my God, let's talk about LeBron. As soon as he had a talk with the bosses, he started positioning himself because they gave him the red light. He's done. Remember this moment, Shannon. The ones positioning their side, they might not say fuck you, but they're positioning, and it'll come with the very subtle things. I do a show with you every day, or not every day, but every couple times a week. I'm talking about Stephen A. when it comes to Shannon. Why are you on air talking about my lawyers is handling this bad and how we do? Why you don't holler at me like that first? The bosses told him what it was. Well, if I'm helping out ESPN claim they love me and they follow me, how's Pat McAfee got Paul Heyman just kicking my back in? The bosses told him it's over. So Shannon, just sit here and remember this. You're going to be fine, my brother. You see with this cancellation shit, they ain't going to cancel you. You got a real fan base. You got a real audience, my nigga. Don't you worry. You might not get another Cat Williams moment, but you'll get other moments. You'll be fine. Fuck these linear platforms. You'll be good. But you got to remember this moment. All the niggas who was shucking and jiving with you, all the niggas that was happy that you were helping them, the moment they got word you were done, it's Game of Thrones. Off of his neck. I don't think Shannon should be surprised, but I think he should be aware of what's happening. This lawsuit doesn't look good. I'll be honest. I understand why he was trying to settle. This woman has him dead to rights. She rocked him to sleep. She has him saying things that, again, he's leaking stuff to the media to give context. Context won't matter. Because only your audience will care about the context. Every now and then when they get mad at me and they'd be like, oh, well, what about this? Remember when we were trying to get him out of here for that? They always bring up a video I did about Tyga when Tyga was dating Kylie Jenner. And I mentioned a story. And I said, and it wasn't even a real story. I said, this is a dynamic. I went to college. This is dynamic. Everyone acts like, yo, that's a 30-year-old act saying that's cool for men to be with 17-year-olds. Someone who doesn't like you doesn't give you context. They won't even go back to the original source. So when that woman put out that text that says, So all they're gonna hear is, "I'm gonna choke the shit out of you." They won't go back to the whole thing where she was sending you pictures of her being choked. She was talking about you getting her leash. She, like, after she showed you a picture of a woman being hog-tied like a fucking stuffed turkey on Thanksgiving dinner, and you said, "I don't know how to do that." She said, "Oh, we could just use a handcuff." Nobody's gonna give you that benefit of the doubt other than your fans. Them casuals who watch ESPN, no, they won't. And every one of your colleagues, they all read that. Here's the thing too. Stephen A., I fuck with you. But this is why sometimes even some of your closest associates, you got to realize that they're never going to torpedo what they got going on for you. And sometimes you rather take a Ye approach. Like, you know, one thing I like what Ye said? Ye said, I don't expect everybody to dick ride and agree with everything I do. But you don't got to denounce me. Shut the fuck up. You don't got to. You can be like, I don't got no comment about this. I got no comment about this. But when your peers and people who the public think are supposed to be your friends, because we don't know who really friends and who we thought Shannon and Skip were friends based on their chemistry. We only found out later they weren't. So when your peers are publicly distancing themselves, speaking out against you, they're kicking your back in. Stephen A. Smith. I remember when Shannon came over there and he was blushing and he was gushing. He was like, "Oh man, we got Shannon. Uncle Shay Shay's here." And really, he wanted to get back at Skip. Talked about how he talked to you all the times off camera and privately while you were going through your saga with Fox Sports. How much he rocks with you. How much you were a real person. Shannon, I know you're going to see this. Think about this. When that woman came out against Jay-Z and Rock Nation, talking about she believes Jay-Z gang raped her with Diddy, Stephen A. Smith vehemently said that woman was not telling the truth and actually defended. Remember that. Defended Jay-Z. But a nigga he do a show with all the time. A nigga who is, that's Uncle Shay Shay. The unmitigated. When it came time for you, he don't like how you handled it. Just remember that. Maybe he just knows Jay-Z better than you. I would probably guess no. Shannon's going to learn an important lesson with this whole thing. As I said, I believe that ESPN did him a solid. They're telling him we're indefinitely suspending you till we conduct and conclude our investigation. And they probably told him, we don't want to fire you, but it's going to take us some time. I think they said, hey, we're going to allow you to say you're stepping aside, but we're going to continue our own investigation. Now, I'm going to be honest, they're going to do him a real solid if they don't put out a statement about it. But I guarantee mainstream outlets are going to hit the PR for ESPN so much that they may have to put out a statement. And I hope in that statement, if they're really doing you a solid, they don't say, we agreed amicably for him to step aside while we conduct our own investigation. Because again, and by the way, they're conducting investigation no matter what. But saying that almost means they're saying, you know the word and how, come on, right? I'm not gonna lie. Shannon, you're gonna realize a few things too. That Cat Williams interview you landed was a gift and a curse. It was a gift and a curse. Now, I'm not here to speak on if you're guilty or innocent of whatever this woman is accusing you of, but I do want you to understand the landscape. There was a lot of your peers that was always kind of feeling like they felt the way. Nigga, you start walking in the building a little bit different after that. If you can't tell, you might be blind, just like Stevie Wonder. Watch how your peers are dealing with you. I know people don't like this guy, but he's actually right about this. Jason Whitlock has done amazing commentary on this. Okay? He's done really amazing commentary. And a lot of his commentary is pointing out how his peers are moving. Okay? Remember, Stephen A. Smith is saying he's considering a presidential run. Listen to this.
When these stories come out at some point this morning, some point before the week's over, ESPN's going to be like, deuces, I'm good.
It already happened.
Seen enough here because Stephen A. Smith publicly questioned the strategy of Shannon Sharpe and his team.
Going on the offensive to defend himself, I completely understand where Shannon Sharpe is coming from. On the other hand, when his legal team issued out the press release on X yesterday, and they spoke about, they mentioned her name, and they revealed some of those explicit text messages, that was uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's a strategy that would work.
That was uncomfortable. I don't know if that's a strategy that would work. Let me translate for you. When I was sitting up talking to Dave Roberts and the other executives at ESPN, and we were talking about who to replace Shannon Sharpe with, we was like, man, this is a bad strategy. He overplayed.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm Shannon Sharpe, I'd be disappointed at Stephen A. Smith, man. Sometimes when it's about your mans, if it is your mans, you either ignore it completely. And yes, the fans are going to call you. And by the way, I take that. Like, if it's sometimes I let y'all know, oh, that's my mans. That's my man. So I'm going to call it bias or whatever, but I'm trying to. Stephen A., which I guess he probably did feel a lot of pressure that he had to give his official stance. But once he said this, it was like, oh man, even he's thinking that Uncle Shay Shay cooked.
That
Yesterday, and they spoke about, they mentioned her name, and they revealed some of those explicit text messages, that was uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's a strategy that would work.
That was uncomfortable. I don't know if that's a strategy that would work. Let me translate for you. When I was sitting...
Let me tell you this, chat. One thing I know about Stephen A., he's devoted his entire life to this media shit. Stephen A. and Skip, they're kind of two peas in a pod. I've heard both of their interviews. I look up to both. I've heard both of them talk about how much they've sacrificed their personal life, even family life, for their career. Whether it's personal life in terms of having a girlfriend, a wife, kids, or even healthy relationships with either or, because they're this person that is whatever. Don't ever think if they have that demeanor you're their mans so much that they would ever jeopardize their shit. Fuck no. Now, I'm not saying Stephen A should have said, yo, I know Shannon. Shannon's my man. This guy, Tony Busby, full of shit. And y'all gonna have to give me more evidence, or I'm gonna wait until this goes to court and everything comes out for me to make up my mind. It ain't take that. He just said, yo, I'm already uncomfortable. You know what that means? Day one, he uncomfortable, which means he's saying, let me out the car. I'm good.
Up talking to Dave Roberts and the other executives at ESPN, and we were talking about who to replace Shannon Sharpe with. We was like, man, this is a bad strategy. He overplayed his hand. He threw gas on a lit fire, and he's provoked her team to start putting out their side of the story. And they seem to be working with Harvey Levin and TMZ. They've taken on a formidable foe, Harvey Levin and TMZ. TMZ Sports, TMZ has been pushing this story hard. TMZ clearly has a connection with Tony Busby. And so the next thing you know, TMZ has a story. Shannon Sharpe accuser confronted him over alleged rape. No means no. And here are the text messages to prove that this happened. Shannon Sharpe's confuser confronted him over the alleged January 2025 sexual assault with a newly released text message.
Let me pause this. We'll get back to it. You know why I wanted to lead in? Like, there's two shows that's killing it right now when it comes to sports. I don't even really watch ESPN like that. Of course, shout out to Nightcap and everything Shannon Sharpe got going on, and Stephen A. But it's Gilbert Arenas' show. And of course, for me personally, man, I love It Is What It Is, because really, it is what it is. Now, shout out to my man Mace. Shout out to Killer Cam. They always give a real good perspective that's not really in this. They don't give an industry take. They still talk like niggas in the barbershop, and I like that type of conversation. They don't talk like HR is watching the clip, and I like that. Mace made some very interesting points, and I have something to add on to it. Let's play this.
For him to offer $10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no $10 million if I know I didn't do anything.
Let me stop you, Mace. I wish I was on the show with y'all. I got one better. This girl is selling her booty for $50K. Still a lot of money, but she ain't see $10 million in this lifetime or the next. If she turns down $10 million, what does that tell you? Fuck what he offered. Because I could say, yo, he only offered a 10 because he was about to get 100. If she turned down the 10, what does that tell you? Now, some might say, oh, no, she got much more. No. Because here's the thing, especially when you got money or whatever, when you deal with somebody that don't got money, you think she's going to turn down a guaranteed 10 to go gamble for 50? She's going to take the guaranteed 10. Come on now. Like, people, use your brain. First of all, she probably ain't going to get the 50. But let's say she gets 30. It's going to take several years, dragged out. You got to split it with your lawyers, public embarrassment. They're offering you 10 on the humble privately. Now, Mace is going to say something that's going to add on to my next point. Let's keep it going.
And I think the only reason the $10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the $10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. Just
Thank you. Let me flush out that point because they get a little silly with it. When it says the $10 million didn't work because the pimp needs his cut. Maybe the $10 million didn't work because whoever may have put this woman up to it, not saying it ain't true, but the quote unquote pimp is somebody who's backing her. they don't only want $10 million, they want blood. Now, we're going to get into who could have these incentives or these reasons. But all I'm saying, a chick who does OnlyFans, you offer her $10 million, even if she thought she could get 50. I think she might take that. The mere fact they played hardball till it got to the public and now she's gambling the dice because she may never get anything tells me whoever is in her corner is saying, 10 mil? Nah, we good. That doesn't seem like it's coming from her. She don't got a pot to piss in. Whoever is backing her is saying, nah, 10 ain't enough. That's not her saying that. It's whoever is backing her. Do you get what I'm saying, Chad? Whoever is backing her is saying, no, 10 no. Because she don't got a pot to piss in. $10 million is going to change her life. You think she's going to turn down a guaranteed 10 to gamble? Would y'all? If I give you 10 right now, if I give you $10 million right now, but you have a 40% chance of getting, say, $30 million, would you say, I'm going to risk the guaranteed 10 for the 40%, or let's say 50%. It's a 50-50. Yep, for the 50% chance of winning 30, or are you going to say, nah, give me the 10, nigga. It's $10 million. You don't have nothing. You're going to take $10 million. Unless you got somebody who's backing you who to say, nah, trust me. No, we got this. Like, 10 million ain't nothing. 10 million is a lot to her. To whoever the pimp is, 10 million ain't nothing. Maybe.
Just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right? So if there's a pimp, right? Why y'all keep laughing? I know this is why they flew me back in. They wanted to know my take. But listen, all jokes aside. If the girl said I want 10, this may be the lawyer, right? Just hypothetically, all of these things, right? And the guy who put her on to Shannon was like, you didn't even know him. I put you on him. You didn't even know who that was. You was asking about college.
You was asking about college.
Yeah, this.
Now, he's taking his theory to say whoever lined it up first put him on to Shannon. I don't think so. I think whoever, if there is this quote unquote pimp, whoever lined it up just found out who Shannon was fucking with and waited until shit got a little bit rocky and came on and swooped in. Ain't nothing worse than a woman's scorn. The reason why I don't think the pimp existed before, I think in this naivete mindset that she had, I think she would have had a child for him. I think if she was thinking about, oh, this is my lottery ticket, I think she wanted to cash in on the lottery ticket by having kids for him. I really think that. She was talking about kids all the time. I think she was down to have a child for him. If it was a real pimp that's doing this, they would have said to her, no, we're not doing that. She clearly wanted to try to anchor him down with a child. The pimp wouldn't tell you to go do that. I think the pimp or whoever is her backer swooped in, but probably became influential. Somehow found out about her, but became influential in her ear when they were going through it. That's the important thing. Okay?
This is your Thurgood Marshall right here. Him right there. For real? Yeah, that nigga worth a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her. And then she said 10, He was like, 10 is my 10. You got to put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed. I'm just telling you, I ain't been out the streets that long. I know this is how peace think. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody's watching this and you know that behavior, you just put it in the chat and say it's Mace lying. And then another thing I want to look at in this whole entire case, right? I heard something about 50 or 25,000 a cheek.
25,000 a cheek.
That's what she texted him. She need 25,000 per cheek.
What are you doing with a cheek to pay 25?
Again, we talked about that yesterday. The 25 per cheek was because she was having him pay for the apology of fucking the girl on Instagram Live. She asked for 50. He was being slow with the 50. You know, Uncle Shay Shay, he got them big thumbs. He couldn't type quick enough. She sent him the PayPal. He couldn't get the, Uncle Shay Shay. Like, he couldn't get to that too quickly. So she was trying to expedite the process. She sent him a nude picture. She was split wide eagle. The ass was plump as... I got the full pictures now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shannon done leaked the picture. Well, I don't know if y'all got those. I got the full pics. It's crazy. I think Shannon saw that shit and nearly busted a blood vessel. Her ass fatter than a swamp possum, nigga. So she was waiting for the 50K, so she sent the shit spread eagle. The pussy look, oh my God, like a Georgia peach. And essentially, she said to him after that message, if you want this shit, send that bread. 25 per cheek. She already asked him for the 50K though.
If I hope all of this is untrue. If it is true, then they gotta do something about this. If ESPN can endure this, then they should give guys like Paul Pierce his job back.
Ooh. Mace is spitting now.
They should give Matt Barnes his job back.
Yep.
And even Michael Irvin, our own Michael Irvin, should get his job back.
Yeah.
If people are not just gonna, honor what they supposed to honor, to me, I believe that he should keep his job if he's innocent. But if he's guilty and ESPN keeps him, then ESPN need to give all those people their job back. But I don't really know how this is going to turn out.
That's very true.
And all I saw really was the interview with Stephen A. when he was speaking of it. And I was watching it very carefully, Killer.
Stephen A. said something about this already?
Yeah, because Stephen A., he didn't stand with Shannon Sharpe like he stood with Jay-Z. When he heard about Jay-Z, he said, the guy I know, this is not true. When it came to Shannon, he was like, I wasn't there.
Yo,
In a nutshell, yeah.
I gotta keep it ecstatic, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't there for Jay-Z neither. Word, you wasn't there for Jay-Z. You were not there for Jay-Z, but you went out on a limb because of the character of guy you know. So I'm not saying that you're wrong for that. I'm saying I would have thought that the same standard would be.
Now let me speak a little bit more to this. Let's call a spade a spade. You see, everybody, this is why I say all these motherfuckers is phony. This is why you got no friends in this industry. People are always trying to judge a situation, wondering if you're completely done. Then secondly, they're also trying to judge a few other things. There's a few other variables you're judging, right? Like, for example, with Jay-Z, there was no, like, actual smoking gun where like, say, Jay-Z took a picture with the girl. None of these motherfuckers like anybody, even Stephen A. He don't like Jay-Z enough to be like, oh no, I know his character, I'm gonna vouch for him that much if there was like certain shit. My bad, my landscapers, I can hear them. The point is this. none of these guys fuck with each other enough. Like, for example, the reality with Shannon Sharpe, that's why nobody gonna stand with him, is that for you to stand with Shannon Sharpe, really, is to say, yo, bro, listen here, man. We all dealt with these little gold digging bitches before. We all had a chick that was, you tricking on because we older, because that's what it is. Like, we ain't gonna be green. Like, the nigga 50, she 20, he tricking a little bit. She putting that good old pussy on him. Check this out. Is he freaky? Yeah, he freaky. But she was into the freak shit too. Despite what you hearing on that audio, I don't think he really gonna choke her. Because y'all gotta show me a picture of or a video of her showing bruises of him choking. Well, even that, I ain't gonna lie. This is why this shit is kind of like fucked up. Because for anybody to stand with him, you have to give context and say, despite what I'm seeing on a video, an audio, or whatever, I believe my mans, and I believe this is a context. Number one, that's really putting your head on the guillotine for that. Because if something else come out, and I think also this idea, this is why Tony Busby don't have to release that sex tape. The mere fact they've described the sex tape to say it's a 30-second video of a nigga choking a chick out while he's fucking her, bruv, you can never defend. Like, bruh, nobody's gonna be like, no, put the whole sex. Bro, it's just too much shit. And, a lot of that is Shannon Sharpe's fault in allowing all that stuff to happen. I guess maybe he trusted her like that. But there is a slight difference between Jay-Z and this. I don't think that Stephen A. would have said this if there was audio of Jay-Z or pictures or videos of Jay-Z with that victim. People like Stephen A. are constantly weighing relationships because they're never cool with no one. They only see you as a business opportunity. You're Shannon Sharpe, you're hot. Pause. Like you got a lot of buzz to you. You're a business opportunity until you're not. Jay-Z, you're not going to kick his back in because you think he's important in business. Until you know for sure everybody going to kick his back in. And the thing with the Jay thing, it was like, even though the accusations were damning, there was no hard proof coming. So it made it easier for these niggas to be like, you know what? And here's the thing. They curried some favor with Jay behind the scenes because now when Jay sees them or whoever the fuck he fucks with that might be cool with him, they're going to be like, yo, I appreciate you, how you spoke about me when I came up. So now they curried some favor with Jay. I think they would have gave Shannon Sharpe the same amount of grace, except the hard evidence is too blatant. Like, what are you going to say? Let's say they drop the sex tape where he's choking the shit out of her and fucking her. You're going to be like, oh, no, we all be on that freaky shit. No, we don't. Not everybody likes to choke chicks out on some BDSM shit like that. No. Well, what about this audio? He says he's going to choke her outside of sex. You're going to look crazy after a while. So, yeah.
There, right? For a guy you work with every day. Or not every day, but,
Damn near.
And I'm not taking a shot at Stephen A. It's just an observation.
It does sound like you were taking shots at Stephen A. From what you said, I didn't see Stephen A. shit, but what I'm gathering, what you said from Stephen A. said, he basically said, I don't know the nigga like that.
Well, I ain't putting my hundreds of millions on the line for him. And for him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason that 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about.
All right. Now, a lot of people are bringing up a lot of different clips, chat. Not going to lie to you, okay? So, for example, these clips are coming back to haunt Shannon. For example, the Monique clip. And I don't know if we've played the Monique clip. I think we did last night. But the Monique clip, and then specifically a Cat Williams clip. Let me play the Monique clip. Where is the Monique clip at? I feel like we played that before. Played it last night, but we'll play it again. Also, we get to the Sky Bree stuff because, those clips were like surfacing. Sky Bree, we'll talk about it in a second. Monique. Shannon. Here we go.
Dating. What advice? If somebody, if a group of women were in here and it's like, come on, they talk to us. How this dating thing? Because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
What you trying to say? What you trying to say? Mo,
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby need. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon need. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Damn. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah.
Prophetic. Shorty says she needed a dick at 11:30. Shannon says it's too late.
To go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah.
Because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back.
Okay. Now, what also came out, and by the way, as I was mentioning pimp, chat, do y'all think this is a coincidence? Is a few weeks ago this audio leaked, okay? So a few weeks ago this audio leaked. Now, let me give you some context. Apparently this is Matt Barnes trying to solicit information about Shannon Sharpe on the behalf of Shaquille O'Neal, because Shaquille O'Neal supposedly doesn't get along with Shannon Sharpe. And listen to this clip. This came out weeks ago. Now, Matt Barnes and everybody else been saying this is AI, but from it's one of those if you know joints. It don't seem like it's AI. It's one of those, you got somebody expose your voice notes or whatever to them, and now you're claiming it's AI. But it appears Matt Barnes, which I didn't know Matt Barnes was a do-boy, he was trying to solicit information or some type of info about Shannon Sharpe for Shaq. Listen to this.
I don't know if you're on this kind of time, but I was in a group chat the other day, or actually just yesterday, and Shaq said he's paying top dollar for any information on old boy. So, again, I don't know if you're on that kind of time or not, but Shaq is known to throw large sums of money around, so just want to put that out there. I ain't quiet. Hey, he said, please keep it quiet.
Now, some people think this was sent to me. Like, no, this was sent to someone else. They revealed it clearly.
He said that Shannon did some shit back to him a while back, and he's been off him. So that's why he's doing this. But please keep his name quiet.
Now, what does Shannon do? We're going to see in a second.
Have you guys talked?
We haven't. Shaq feels the way he feels, and he's perfectly fine to feel that way. I said what I said. I still think Shaq is a phenomenal basketball player, even though, he minimized my career. I'm fine. The thing is,
so, and I'm going to play a little video about their back and forth, but it's very interesting. Shaq, Shannon Sharpe beef. Hold on.
Was Shannon Sharpe, episode 21, All the Smoke.
Okay, what is going? I'm trying to. Okay, this is part.
Hey guys, it's your love always the most dominating joker, shows how smart.
So basically, Shannon Sharpe has said something, giving Jokic like some credit, And I think Shaq had said, by the way, it's really like a stupid beef, and it goes to show. And respectfully, bro, I know I ain't in these niggas' leagues, and I know Shaq got something against me, which is, it kind of stems, like, Shaq is really petty. Like, bro, I really have no idea why Shaq is like this. Like, he's really fucking petty. I'll give you, I'll tell you my situation with him. The nigga felt away because I posted the Home Depot girl that he DM'd, and he felt I was getting it hot for all his bitches. Shaq is 60. I didn't know Shaq had mad bitches. It was only after I talked to Tusi and all these. Shaq DM'd everybody's girl. Like, Shaq is trying to fuck, like, Ari and all these other girls. Like, Shaq think he's 25. You know what I mean? It's all good. I get it. You're a billionaire. You're one of the best basketball players. I get it. But he was mad that I posted it. He's like, yo, I remember he said, yo, Ak, you broke? Like, why you posting? And I'm like, dog, you're Big Diesel. Like, you're messaging a girl from Home Depot. Everybody's going to post it. He was really upset. I realized afterwards he DM'd like 3 girls I've dealt with. I ain't gonna lie, I was talking like some girl not too long ago. Like, he DM'd her too. Like, nigga, it was like 4 weeks ago. I was like, how the hell? The chick got 300 followers. Shaq is obsessed. But I get it. He doesn't like me for that. But I'm also a little confused because I'm like, bro, you're a billionaire. Like, what's going on with you? Whatever it is. So I only say that to show how petty it is, right? So apparently his issue with Shannon Sharpe is that Shannon Sharpe basically called out Shaq after Shaq said that, I believe he said that Shea Gilchrist or whatever his name is, Shy, whatever his dude's name is, guy that plays on OKC. I don't know how to really say his name. He said he deserves the MVP. Shannon Sharpe actually says, I actually don't, like, Shaq must be like low-key hating on Jokic because Jokic deserves the MVP. And maybe Shaq is being a little bit of haterish because Shaq's a big man and Shaq game wasn't like Jokic. Shaq went off on him on a Instagram post. Ever since then, Shaq is wanting to get this guy. Now, I could only attest to what I could attest to. Remember, Shaq got mad at me for one Instagram post. First of all, Shaq was talking gangster to me in the chat. Nigga, his messages with me was like almost like, yo, nigga, you know I could get you touched. And the whole time I'm looking, I'm like, nigga, aren't you a cop? Like, he's a cop in like Palm Beach. He was talking mad gangster to me, and I was just like, bro, you're like Big D, like you're my childhood hero. Like, calm it down. Shaq was talking so crazy to me. Nigga, I could even show you. I told Shaq, I said, bro, you're saying too much. Like, if you're really gangster like how you're talking, if something did happen to me, they're going to lock you up because of how you're threatening me in the DMs. Like, this is crazy. Just calm down, bro. Like, what are you doing? But that was a moment I was like, yo, the way how y'all look at Shaq is not how Shaq is. Because I've never interacted with him before. So I realized, and then I've learned other things afterwards. I learned that Shaq was allegedly getting extorted in LA when he was there. Shaq thought he was fucking with some Crips over there. Shaq's name came up in something like they're claiming he tried to put a hit on somebody. So Shaq really think he's gangster like that. And I didn't really believe none of that shit until, like, by the way, after me and him kind of got into it, because I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, because Shaq was like, nah, I'm going to see you, nigga. I'm going to see you. I'm going to get you touched. I'm like, what is Shaq talking about? Gilly from Gilly and Wallow, or $1 Million Worth, he called me and be like, yo, Ak, what'd you do to Shaq? He's calling niggas about you. And I'm like, Shaquille O'Neal? So apparently Shaq think he's a thug. I'm going to be honest with you. He does think he's a thug. And when I now look at like his history, Shaq was involved in a case where somebody got killed. Where because he was with the Lakers, he avoided getting charged because they're not trying to charge a star Laker player with allegedly putting a hit on a nigga, but they charged somebody for killing a nigga. And according to the word in the street, it was because that person Shaq wanted eliminated. So even then I'm processing, wait, Shaq is getting niggas clapped? Like, that's crazy. You get what I'm saying? But apparently Shaq is like tied in with the streets and all that shit. Whatever the fuck. I really don't give a fuck. The point is this. Shaq's a billionaire now. He's retired from basketball. He's on ES or TNT or whatever the fuck he's on. Bro, everybody loves you. Even niggas who hate you love you. The mere fact he's so petty, it's either he got too much money or there's some other issue going on. I don't really care to know. But when it came to the Shannon Sharpe shit, I was like, I thought it was just me because I know rappers don't like me for whatever reason. You get what I'm saying? But with the Shannon Sharpe shit, I'm like, wait, Shannon just disagreed with you and kind of like calls you a hater. How do you hate him that much? Because he went off on his tirade. This is what Shannon's about to read.
Ocho, everyone's family. Okay. Shaq, about the comments that I said last night.
By the way, if y'all think anything I'm lying, my nigga, listen, I could do a deep dive on it if y'all want. So somebody was acting like they had Shaq's sex tapes back in the day, okay? Or whatever the case. By the way, this also connects to Whack 100, right? There was supposed to be some extortion shit, Shaq murder for hire. Just search that. Bro, just search it. Look, the nigga testified, Shaq told me to kill people. Brother, I'm not making this shit up. So again, like, I remember when Shaq was talking so crazy, I'm like, what the fuck? So after I had to do a whole deep digging into Shaq's history, because even when I was talking to Gilly, Gilly was like, yo, Ak, I'm going to be honest with you. Shaq tapped in with the streets. I'm like, bro, we're talking about Superman, the nigga who like fucking is the big goofball at the NBA All-Star games, like dribbling like crazy, and we laugh at him and we love him. And they're like, no, he's tapped in. And I'm like, what? But I went into all his history. Shaq think he a street nigga. This is the fact. Shaq think he's a street nigga. And there's multiple cases. He hasn't, well, actually, he did hit up a chick I was talking to like a few weeks ago, which I'm going to say, Shaq, I'm going to keep it cute with you from here on. If you want me to go do a whole deep dive on your history, nigga, you don't want to end up like Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to just say that right now. Because as much money as you think you got, I got a lot of motherfucking time. And I'm only saying that because Shaq is playing bully in the background. He's whatever you're hearing this nigga said, me and Tussie got on the phone was like, yo, why this nigga hit my baby moms? Shaq, I don't know what the fuck going on with him. Just leave me alone, my nigga. I hear you getting niggas clapped. Just leave me alone, bro. Like, I'll actually try to apologize to you because I don't want to be beefing with you. I like you. Like, nigga, when I play 2K, like, you're one of the characters I play. So let's not beef. But if you hit up another one, like another chick or doing some weird shit with me, I might have to just spend a week breaking down all the allegations that you try to get people killed. Okay? But I don't want to do that. All right? And also, the reason why your name is getting thrown up in this. Exactly. So anyway, I just had to put that out there because all that little lovable Shaq shit is like, I'm telling you, it's all cap. All cap. Like, that nigga talk like he's a Big U descendant. Except Big U broke compared to him. Like, he's rich. You know what I mean? Shaq ain't gonna bust a grape and fruit fight. But he'll pay for niggas to get you hemmed up, beat up, shot, stabbed, killed. And the funny thing, and I'm like, nigga, you know, this could be an open air. Like, Shaq, nobody's impervious. It don't matter how long you live on this earth, my nigga. They'll get you at some point. Like, just calm it down. You're a legend. You got a statue outside the fucking crypto arena. Relax. Anyway, I know how petty that nigga is, okay? I'm telling you personally, I know how petty he is. I've been trying to apologize to Shaq for like a year now on stream. The nigga is petty. And I'm telling you everything about it. And I only fell back because I realized he's been accused of getting niggas clapped. And I'm like, I like living. And I don't want Shaq using his $1 million to try to get me eliminated. Okay? Shaq, I got no problem with you. But I do think some of Shannon's problems, probably Shaq is the type of nigga who will put money in the streets to fuck with his ops. So this whole Shannon Sharpe shit, and I'm going to play you the audio. Oh, wait, hold on. We already just played the audio. Let me play the audio again. Like, Matt Barnes runs the whole podcast. Why the hell Matt Barnes sounded like he's Lil Woody on the phone? Why are you saying this?
I don't know if you're on this kind of time, but I was in a group chat the other day, or actually just yesterday, and Shaq said he's paying top dollar for any information on old boy. So, again, I don't know if you're on that kind of time or not, but Shaq is known to throw large sums of money around, so just want to put that out there. I am quiet. Hey, he said, please, please, please keep it quiet. He said that Shannon did some shit back to him a while back, and he's been off him. So that's why he's doing this. But please, please, please keep his name quiet.
Okay. So let's get into this.
Shaq said, "You took me sticking up for Shay as jealousy of Joker shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks." That's not what I did, but anyway. So here's the clickbait for you. If I ain't ranked in the top 10 in your profession, then you can't speak. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you're at. Me jealous sounds like you jealous. I know you're trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You need more people in case you forgot. 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50, top 75. And to be quite frank, all this success you got still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but according, I work less, but not blah, blah, blah. But anyway, love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. I'm too old for this ish. Love always. The most dominating big man ever. Never took it serious. Remember, I know you and you know words of Skip Bayless. I'm better than you. Hashtag G14 classification. I have it. You don't. Not in my profession.
Wait, when that happened?
He just about 10 minutes ago.
Shannon, that's the moment you fucked up. Trust. Take my word, my nigga. I guarantee somebody found out the bitch you was fucking. Because nobody knew you was fucking this girl. Somebody found her, not saying Shaq, and somebody got in her ear. And I'm telling you it's one of your ops. I'm telling you this. Unless you want to be in the land of coincidences. I don't think you want to be in that land. Shannon, one thing I realized when I was reading the lawsuit against you, you old. You hella old. What I mean by that is not in age, is that I don't even think you're green. Is that you just don't know how younger people are thinking. Because your mind ain't programmed to that. So a lot of things you were doing, you were moving like an old nigga. It's not, again, not age, but your actions with things, your demeanor towards whatever. Also, Shannon, I'm giving you a light warning. By the way, let's keep it. Shannon, he ain't never going. Well, it'll take about 10 years or like 5 years. You'll hear him admit what I'm about to tell you now. He gonna tell y'all at some point that the niggas who he was beefing with, like, or having friendly competition with, they were playing another game. Shannon, you see when Skip Bayless and Charles Barkley are going at each other, it's not just words. These are all millionaires going at each other. They're all playing a dirty game. And if they could expose you, get you to lose your job, trick you out of your position, they will. You thought you and Shaq getting into it, you probably brush it off as, man, because I hear you in the clip. You're like, I don't know why Shaq, I still think he's a phenomenal. Shaq was trying to line you up from back then. Now, I'm not saying Shaq did this, because I have no proof. But I'm pretty sure a couple dots are connecting today for Shannon. Old Uncle Shay Shay. Watch how he talks about this. And this is how you know you're oblivious. Because I was oblivious. I was just like, Shaq ain't mad at me. Then I realized he was. I'm like, wait, how did Shaq... Shaq hit up a chick that had 300 followers and her page was on private. DM'd her. 4 weeks ago. So it's a new chick I'm talking to. 4 weeks ago. 300 followers. I don't date popular chicks. Shaq in her DMs. She even came to me. She was like, did you say something? Like, there's a couple blue checks in my like DMs and stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, the chick, it was in Spanish, she don't know who Shaq was. She says, this guy is DMing me. She showed me the phone. Shaq! Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Bro, her page private, and she got through the phone. Shaq! Yo, let me tell you this. This is why I've been apologizing to Shaq. Like, I've been trying to get cool with him, but I don't know what, like, nigga, just because. Anyway, Shannon, what I'm trying to tell you, when I say that story, I'm trying to tell you, I don't think you thinking that deep into it. And that's exactly why you get lined up. Because not only he don't fuck with you, you are also kind of seen in the same competitive league as him. And of course I think that nigga will line you up. Shaq a slimy nigga.
Wait,
I've
Shaq,
never.
Shaq in the chat?
No, he on IG. I've never professed. I've never professed that I was as great as Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say,
Yes, sir.
I got what I got because I worked my ass off. Now,
Yes, sir.
Shaq has been the one to say it, that he didn't work as hard. He didn't.
You see, he think this is about basketball still. Shaq is telling probably Matt Barnes and all his boys, yo, I got 100 bands if y'all get me some info, or maybe 200 bands. Shaq's a billionaire. He might be like, I got $500,000 if y'all get me some info on this fuck nigga. Yo, get me a proof that he's really gay. Get me the video of him sucking some dick. Allegedly. If Shaq put all the effort he's putting into beefing with ops and getting at bitches that he put into the NBA, he would have had 20 rings. That's a fact.
Didn't train as hard. He didn't eat as well as he should have.
Right.
Shaq is the one that anytime someone wins an MVP, he talks about how he should have been the MVP over Steve Nash. Now, you guys have heard me speak glowingly. I say Travis Kelce is better tight end than I was. So was Gronk. So was my guy, what's his name? For the Chargers. Antonio Gates, Gonzo, Big Winslow. I'm cool. I got no problem. You know why I got no problem, Ocho, with giving people credit?
Right.
Because I got everything out of my God-given ability. God gave.
I ain't gonna lie, Shannon. You thought this was about basketball. Y'all don't see Shaq on TNT? You think Shaq on there is just talking X's and O's, bro? Bro, Shaq doesn't live the life of like the greatest life, my nigga. You think he give a fuck about these basketball players? Shaq up there who's 55, or I don't know how old he is. He still think he's 30, bro. Like, that money gonna make you feel like that. Yo, Shannon, apologize to Shaq with me. Yo, Shaq, I'm apologize for Uncle Shay Shay, okay? I'm gonna apologize for Uncle Shay Shay. Because he wasn't familiar with your game. I got familiar with your game. So, Shaq, I apologize for Uncle Shay Shay. Anyway. All right. So Shannon is out at ESPN. But people are definitely bringing up videos that's showing that Shannon was bugging. He was starting to feel himself. For example, they're bringing back up this clip of when Cat Williams was on the show, and Cat Williams was talking about Jonathan Majors and how a white woman took down his career. And I get it. Gabriela Zuniga isn't a white woman. She's actually from Spain. She's Spanish. But the lack of melanin, people do kind of put her in that thing of being a white woman, especially how she speaks about black people. You know you're not someone that fucks with black people when you're saying, put a black baby in me. Like, you know, you're almost making it. No. Like, even if you would say, put a mixed baby in me. Like, no, you're just saying, put a black baby in it. It's almost like you're kind of caricaturing the entire situation. Listen to what Cat Williams said to him.
Want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Come on, Cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I want to get what...
Cat Williams might have got this one wrong. I think they took down Shannon Sharpe in 1 weekend. We ain't get to the second weekend yet. We didn't get to the second weekend yet, chat. We did not get to the second weekend yet. It wasn't 2 weekends. It was 1.
A white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan
There
Majors.
you go. Come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I want to...
Now these clips are surfacing as well. Here we go.
I was talking about date your age. Well, I want to date my wage. I'm finna shut all this ish down tonight. I want to date my wage.
Stay right there. Stay right.
Where y'all at? Hey, chat, where they at?
Hold on. Cause you know I keep it on me now.
Yeah.
I keep it on me. You want to date your what?
I want to date my wage. Not my age. I want to date my wage. So where are they? Cause y'all always talking about date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it.
Well, you talking?
As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Well, you talking spicy tonight, boy.
Everybody always talk about date your age.
Now, I didn't know this was an ongoing conversation. I've never seen Shannon with a woman. I thought they said he always was with this gay stylist. But apparently people knew that he was hanging around young women. And, I mean, I don't even want to get into that conversation, even though a lot of people had conversations about it. Like, for example, Charlemagne actually spoke about it, and he kind of called out Shannon a bit by saying, yo, bro, let's see, Charlemagne. He spoke about it and basically was just like, here we go.
Because she was of age, so even though she was 19, that's not against the law.
This is a very, very messy situation. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I have no idea why a 54-year-old man is dating a 19, 20-year-old. I know y'all like to be out here bragging about smashing these young things, but that's not a flex to me. You 54 years old, you should be laid up with your wife and kids, taking your cholesterol medicine, minding your damn business. We need discipline and stability. That's and I ain't talking about...
Yo, shout out to Uncle Charla. You see, my man Uncle Charlotte, he been through the gamut as well. You know what I realized? Some of the things that he came out on the other side, gladfully, successfully, but he came on the other side realizing that he might be right. At a certain point, you getting all this money, you're doing good for yourself, you're feeding your family, you're setting aside money for generations to come, you got all type of great things, building businesses. At some point, you got to check out the whole game. Go get one loyal chick who going to hold you down, not backstab you, not going to set you up, and ride off in the sunset with her. That's what Charlemagne did. Charlemagne used to brag about cheating on his wife. Then when shit got real, he married his wife. Used to be listening to Brilliant Idiots. He'd be like, yo, he said, I ain't cheating 3 years. I'm like, damn. You know what got him in that mode? Getting into some real shit. And I ain't gonna lie, for a while I was like, man, how they done got, man, light-skinned Charlotte a little different. But I'm now realizing light-skinned Charlotte is smart as shit. I think a lot of us believe that we get all this money and fame to be able to slang dick at a rapid pace and fuck as many girls as you want until you realize that same mentality becomes a thing that hurts your career. It becomes the women you deal with and associate with that now start saying shit about you or alleging shit that now your career is in jeopardy and your livelihood is in jeopardy. So I know you want to have your cake and eat it too, but which one you want? Do you want just the women or you want the fame and the money that could help all your family? Because now you got 50 people depending on you and you get to realize, man, go sit your ass in the corner. It ain't about date your age and date your wage. It seems like you just need to have some dick discipline and just get with a chick that just ain't gonna do all this. Because if you fucking, here's the thing. Yo, I be saying this. Instagram be looking like a menu. When you popping, Instagram look like a menu. Every time you, like, I be looking like, man, Mark Zuckerberg know me like the back of my hand. Every time I refresh, it be 40 women who looks like my type of woman that I like. So it's like you just almost end up. But here's the thing. You don't know these people. Half the time, the people who you're dealing with, they're not interested in you. They might even have a man already or maybe a pimp, who knows? And then they start looking at you just as a dollar sign and they start thinking about extracting money out of you. And if you're not willingly giving them what they want because escorting seems like the thing now or tricking, word to these rappers, some of them might start lining you up.
Just Shannon, I'm just talking about all of us in general. Men need discipline and stability. Find you one woman and settle your ass down, okay?
I agree with you, but it's not against the law. He can as long as the person's over a certain age, it is not against the law. So legalities, that's not against the law.
I'm with you.
It don't feel right, but for himself, it's not against the law.
I'm with you. I'm just saying a 54-year-old man is supposed to be laid up with his wife and kids somewhere. Hell, maybe even have a couple of grandkids. I don't want to be chasing no young girls at 54.
Because what are the conversations like? What are the conversations? If I'm 54 and you 20,
that's what I thought about. Like, what do y'all even talk about?
I don't agree with
signs of a stroke.
But all I'm gonna say is when you see all these white people do it, Leo DiCaprio, Seinfeld, Hugh Hefner, Joaquin Phoenix, John Mayer, when they date young girls. Nobody says anything. I'm not saying it's right, but it's not against the law.
But I saw Shannon with Andrew Schultz, and he was just talking.
I actually don't believe it's about the age, actually. I think it's about this idea that, yo, I'm going to keep fucking women and having them be replaceable. Like, I think at a certain point, you don't got to get married, but you got to just consolidate and fuck with somebody who is going to be there for you and be a little bit loyal. Because what happens is if you keep thinking, because I think that's what Shannon was thinking, right? Let me fuck with this girl here. Let me fuck with this. Oh, I see another chick on OnlyFans. At some point, you're going to get some chick that's going to line you up. Like, for example, did y'all hear how he was speaking about Scott Bree? Right? Listen to how he was speaking about Scott Bree. Here we go. It's like he just found the way he was gushing in this clip is like he just found Instagram Explore page. And all his Explore page was OnlyFans chicks. So now he's like a kid in a candy store. And this is a grown-ass man. He's in his 50s.
You know who Scott Bree is, Ocho?
Scott Bree? Who that is, Coach?
Yeah. Look, how I do it.
Hey, Scott, I mean, who is that? Help me out.
You know what I'm saying? She little something. She might be famous for vertical activity that she's good at.
She a hooper?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who she play for? Who she play for?
She got her own little thing,
Huh?
Man, y'all need to stop, man. Y'all be on that bull jive, man.
Hold on. Who she play for?
Back in the day, she could have been on my team.
She played for on her back.
You know who Scott Bree is, Ocho?
Scott Bree? Who that is, Coach?
Yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I forgot Scott Bree hit me up back in the day. So I was like, Scott Bree. So my DMs was open with her. I hit her ass and I said, yo, you ain't lying my nigga Uncle Shay up, did you? And she said, I got no idea who that is, to be honest. That clip of him talking about me is like a year old. I'm getting so many DMs and comments saying I'm the one who's suing him. Like TMZ just reached out. But no, it wasn't me. Now, granted, I know it's not her suing him. But I was trying to figure out, you know what I mean, on some kind of messy shit. I'm trying to figure out, like, yo, you fuck Unc? You know what I mean? But she's saying she never met him, which just tells me Shannon Sharpe was basically a horny dog off the leash that was on Instagram seeing all these beautiful women that might be doing OnlyFans and probably was thinking, damn, shit, if I just trick on them for like $2,000 to $5,000, I could get some pussy. And he was just thinking he was a kid in a candy store, except when you run into one that at some point somebody says, yo, wait, hold on. He's only doing that for you? You know this nigga's about to get $100 million. It turns into a lot of things different. You get what I'm saying?
Reels, Ocho.
Listen to Ray J speak on the matter. This is crazy.
Yo, Shannon Sharpe, bro, like, I seen that, like, I was looking at, like, everything that's going on. Maybe I'm tripping, but, like, she told you to do some bondage stuff. I remember when I did Love and Hip Hop and Princess had me in the bondage room, I had the ball in my mouth, pause. They had me tied up and she was whipping me and beating me and shit. And then, you know, they wanted me to do that. I'm like, look, I don't do all that. It was choking. It was all kind of crazy shit going on in there. It was weird and it was painful and I hated it, right? It seemed like that's what y'all was doing. Then all of a sudden, when you get kinky with it, like, I'm gonna choke you outside. I'm into it now. After she done ties you up, whipped you, put a butt plug in you or whatever what it was that got you going, which is to each his own. And I didn't mean the butt plug. That's not okay. Now she trying to use it again. Yo, Shannon Sharpe, bro, like, I seen that, like, I was looking at, like, everything that's going.
Yeah. Now, give me a short second. We're going to come back to the Shannon Sharpe point. I do know, and I've seen the comments. I see you guys talking about it. There is breaking news. Gilbert Arenas' son was seriously injured in a car crash. If you don't know Gilbert Arenas, former star basketball player, but also a very prolific and has a sizable podcast. His son, who was a budding, NBA prospect, Elijah Arenas, was seriously injured in a car crash. They're claiming that he's in a induced coma. They said, according to the High School Hoops Insider, he was placed in an induced coma due to smoke inhalation, and he didn't suffer any broken bones. Now, I really don't know what that means, but I think we all take the same sentiment when we hear somebody was put in a coma, that this shit is serious. But it says because of smoke inhalation, not necessarily broken bones or any other injury. So I don't know. I'm guessing maybe he should probably okay, but you never know. Hopefully, whatever the issue is, he makes it out of that. This phase. By the way, his mom is Laura Govan. Clearly, his dad is Gilbert Arenas. But Laura Govan appeared to address the news in an Instagram post, which she was pleading with her 1.5 million followers, and she says, "I need all your fucking prayers." Okay, and yeah. He was supposedly really good. Like, a lot of people, like, really always said this kid was he was probably going to be maybe even better than his father. Some people even projected, right? But he was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries after crashing his Tesla Cybertruck early Thursday morning. It's unclear what caused the wreck, but the luxury vehicle was completely mangled on the side of the road based on images we've viewed. Now, it looks like they haven't put images out yet. But it says, we're told emergency responders raced to the scene after fire personnel.
So Shannon Sharpe is being sued by Jane Doe, by the same man that has a case against Diddy, or try to put a case against Diddy, Jay-Z. Honestly, from what it's looking like, Tony Busby only goes after successful black men. Like, okay, let's say even if they're wrong, like, from the outside looking in, he literally only goes after successful black men. And I don't know if it's like a personal vendetta or what he has, but amen. It's not a family. I can't really give my personal opinions, but it's crazy. I hope this isn't true. I don't see this case really going anywhere. Like cases like this is really only for headlines, so it sounds crazy. And like I feel like with a lot of black people, you're guilty, like, and then proven innocent. You're not like proven innocent until, like, you feel me? Till you go to court. And this headline just looks so crazy. And like what Axe said, he has $100 million deal on the line. Of course they want to get him out of here, bro. Or lower the deal or something. I don't know. But it's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and pray for the best for your Shannon Sharpe, man.